Greetings, this is TimeRider at Chapter 4. You're looking at the Ford GT number 41C. Was released by Lesney in 1965 and was part of the regular wheels superfast transition. The change to superfast happened in 69 and they kept making them until 1979. The regular version had red or yellow plastic hubs with plastic tires and either white or yellow bodywork. One very rare release has wire wheels. One very rare release has wire wheels. It's kind of a simple casting when you think about it. Jack Odell called it the best-selling miniature of all time, so I guess that says something, doesn't it? This is mine, and I got it for free from my #1 subscriber, Mike. Thanks, Mike. I hope you enjoy the video. Didn't have any tires on it, just had wheels. That's okay, I have tires. But if you recall, a while back I did a Ferrari, and I put different wheels and tires on it. And there was a method to my madness. I intended all along to put wire wheels on this. So, here we go. Stay tuned. Disassembly was pretty standard with there being one mushroom post at the front and another mushroom post at the back. It was just a matter of drilling them out. And once I had it apart, oh gee, I found a tire. It was just a matter of removing the little engine that they have in the back window and the interior. Now I have to drill out a very short rivet to get the windshield out. After that, drilled out the holes with a 1/16 inch drill bit, and now I'm gonna tap them so I can install a button screw. And as I've shown before, one thing that I'm doing now is making sure that the edges on these posts are gone so that the car will assemble as easily as it came apart. I flatten them off a little bit and just grind the lip off. And since I'm going to be replacing the wheels, I have to remove the wheels that are on there using the same grinder on the end of my Dremel. I'm taking the plastic wheels off, front and back. And then it's time for some stripper. I am going to paint the bottom of this. I know a lot of times I don't, but I just decided to because I put some big gouges in it. And yeah, your typical paint stripping job. It actually went fairly smoothly. I'm sorry about the lighting. I think I might have changed the setting on my camera. And follow that up with a little bit of a bath to get the bulk of the paint off of it. And get it ready for some final cleanup. So with a wire wheel here, I'm going to clean up the bottom, mostly try to get the paint out of all the letters. If you've ever done it, you know what I'm talking about. Then spend some time working on the body, which actually needed very, very little. It was very straight. And it was a really nice casting. I did take some 4/0 steel wool and kind of go over it a little bit before I put primer on it, just to make sure I got it good and smooth. The base plate I just did with rattle can black. I really didn't need to do much more than that. Then move on to the casting. And as as much as it sucks to do it, I'm putting white primer which means when I go to paint my white paint, I'm going to have to squint a lot to make sure I get the coverage that I need. That's alright, I've done white before, so I think I'll survive it. But white on white is sometimes a bit much. The window glass was in pretty good shape, so I just used some of the Novus polish on it, and I use that stuff all the time. I'm sure you guys see that. It's just a rubbing compound with a cleaner, and actually probably a polishing compound. And then if you get their 3-step process, the step 3 is rubbing. And then I had just taken the rubber that I had and swished it around in some tire wash and thrown it up on my little tire rack here to let it dry. And I'll get on with some paint. Typically I start with a light tack coat, which I let dry for about 10 minutes, and then move on to a heavier second coat. It's important when you're doing this to be sure to get inside the wheel wells and inside the inside of the car if you think that's going to be visible at all. Then my final coat is usually a fairly heavy coat, or what they call a wet coat. Now, white is not the sexiest color to come down the pike, but I think this car makes it look good. And then last, but certainly not the least, Tamiya X22 Clear. I mix it fairly thin, and I like to put it on just right after I do that third coat. And the end result is typically pretty good. Now for a little humor, me at about 500 speed trying to put on a decal. Eventually I get it there though. So anyway, I think that this is our starting point right here. Fairly chipped up, no tires, a little yellowed on the decal. All in all though, the car was in pretty good shape, but generally I would say a really, really good candidate for a restoration because it can look so much nicer. At least that's just my belief. So here's where we wound up. I think it looks real nice. There you have it, folks. The Matchbox number 41C 4GT with wire wheels. Be sure to hang around after if you want to see the next edition of The Bench. And this is TimeRider at Chapter 4. I'll leave the light on for you. Okay, so welcome to a really short version of The Bench today. I just wanted to update everybody. I am working on that 68C, but I had some trouble with the paint, so I'm going to try to resolve that here in a little bit as soon as I get this video up. And then I think I might have finally found a windshield for this guy. Super fast 69C. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but when the windshield comes, I can get started on it. And I thought maybe I'd end up the night with a little levity here, and you can watch me put new tires on a Unimog, which is funny to begin with, but it's even funnier at 800 speed.